Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, welcome to another episode of 94 Feet Podcast. I'm Zeke.
What's good, my brother Zeke? How you doing?
I'm doing.
What's good? It's good, people. It's Dre, conference finals. Keith, what's good, bro?
What's good, my good people?
What's good? What's good, man? What's good? It's been a lot going on in the NBA since we last got together, man. And I first want to start the episode off apologizing to the Milwaukee Bucks. I guess I have to start that episode off. Because not only as the one real Bucks fan in this room, that I vote I voted against the Bucks in the first round and the second round. And they came back and they took care of business in Game 7, had me nervous in Game 1. But I just want the record to show that on many of the podcasts I said that if the Bucks can beat Brooklyn, they would win the championship.
You said that after I said it. Right?
No, in fact, I was listening to episodes before I got here to prove that I said it. In fact, I saved it on the phone. But nevertheless, Bucks Nation, I apologize. I should have had more faith in you, and I'm glad to see us in the conference finals. So
we're not mad at you. Wisconsin fans suffer from PTSD, so we understand how you got there.
Well,
just don't do it again.
His Bucks fan pass has been temporarily revoked.
It has not
until further notice.
Game 1 was popping with me in the stadium.
I mean, Drake
Game
got
2.
season tickets, so
Unfortunately, we couldn't ban you, but you have lost your members pass.
Well, all I'm saying is on a couple of the previous episodes, y'all were pretty hard on the Bucks too. Let's not talk about that Chris Middleton slander that many of you brought to the table.
That y'all two was doing.
Still will do it. It don't change.
So yes. Another episode 18, y'all. 94 Feet has been going on for 18 episodes, man. How y'all feel about that, man? Before we dive in, Zeke, this was one of your brainchilds, man. We came together as brothers to start this podcast, man. 18 episodes in, man. How you feel about all that?
I feel about this is that I feel that I feel like this is we got something going good here, and I hope we can keep it going in the future.
Yes, sir. Keith, how you feel? Go ahead,
the
my
Lord
bad.
has worked in mysterious ways.
Keith, 18 episodes in. How you feel about that, brother?
I mean, it's a blessing, man. I'm proud to be here, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, man.
Yeah.
We live, baby.
We live. Let's dive in. First thing we're going to talk about, the Milwaukee Bucks obviously have advanced to the conference finals against the Atlanta Hawks. Let's talk about games 1 and 2. Let's preview game 3. How we feeling about the series? How are we feeling about the Milwaukee Bucks? Let me start with Zeke because he's obviously, both of you predicted the Bucks to go to the finals. So I'm going to stand corrected on that. And you picked them to face the Phoenix Suns. How do we like this Bucks versus Atlanta Hawks matchup that nobody in America probably predicted would happen?
You just said two people at this table
that predicted the Bucks in the finals. No one in America predicted the Bucks and the Hawks in the conference finals.
I didn't predict the Hawks, but I did predict the Bucks. I actually predicted them to go against the Phoenix Suns, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I mean, about game 1, I knew that, I think Charles Barkley had predicted a sweep. I knew it wasn't going to be a sweep. I predicted 4-2. The Bucks. After game 1, I said the Bucks always got to make stuff difficult because in game 1 you could see that we were, I don't want to say a better team than the Hawks, but we were very capable of beating them. So for us to lose game 1 and then game 2 we blow them out. It's up to par. I think that the Bucks have a better team. I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to have to elevate their game to just compete with us. And I think it's up to the Bucks to lose. So
It's
you
the
know,
Bucks to lose, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's up to the Bucks to lose.
Okay. Game 1 had me a little nervous, not going to lie. I mean, they had Trae
'Cause you're
Young
not a
looking
Bucks
like
fan.
I'm a Bucks fan, but if you weren't a nervous fan after Game 1, you're lying.
No, I
because they had Trae Young looking like the second coming of Steph Curry. He had a career night against us. Let's not act like we weren't shaking a little
He
bit.
did have a career night. A lot of those shots were open. A lot of those shots were not heavily contested. So yeah, you're gonna have a career night. Trae is a shooter, and Trae Young is a young star in this NBA, but you know the defense wasn't up to par. And so when he got that, he got the pick, and then he did the little shimmy for the three. He was
Yeah.
wide open. He should have hit that.
Why you got to bring the shimmy up, man?
That shimmy was.
Shimmy's up.
That's the reason why you got the result in game 2.
You supposed to leave it alone, man.
No, I got
leave it alone.
I got to bring it up, and I want the Bucks to keep on bringing it up and keep looking at it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's motivation.
And he
That's
did it
all that
twice.
is.
He actually did it in Game 2 as well.
He did it in
it
game
twice.
2 too.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But go ahead, Keith. How you feeling about everything, man? Considering the Bucks were able to put away the Brooklyn Nets, and then they came into Atlanta, blew Game 1, but just dominated.
Blowing
Game 2.
Game 1 had me worried for a second. I'm gonna be honest. Just knowing what happened last year made me have a flashback almost. Like, oh man, here we go again.
For sure.
But at the same time, I was thinking in my head, the Bucks got to come out the next game and make a statement. Mm-hmm. And they came out and they made a statement. Mm-hmm. And their statement was, I'm gonna put my foot in your neck tonight and show you this is how we should have played y'all Game 1.
Yeah.
Because Trae, like you said, Trae Young was looking like the new Steph. He was coming off screens, shooting it. They leaving him wide open, and even if he was even hitting a few of them in their face too, though. But like I said, the Bucks had to make some big adjustments, and I take that on Bud because Bud has to make that team make those adjustments, and they wasn't making those adjustments, and they was burning them up.
Yeah, I think anyone that watched Game 1 probably seen the lack thereof of coaching from the Milwaukee Bucks. Bobby Portis, who they claim was sick, which is why he didn't play as much in Brooklyn. They claim he was sick, but I think it was a coach's decision, but none of us have any proof to prove it. But also the fact that he made so many coaching errors. The Bucks all night in Game 1 should have ran the pick and roll because Atlanta couldn't stop the pick and roll. Right? Giannis was scoring all the time in the middle. Brook Lopez was a non-factor in Game 1. He should have benched him well into the game. We had no really three-point shooters in the game. Holiday did not bring his A game. So Game 1 had me a little on edge, and I tell you about wishy-washy fans. Okay, you all got on me for having an objective opinion, but when I was at the Bucks, I literally heard fans again start booing the Bucks. And that's when I knew, okay, these are the real bandwagon fans, people that are booing the team for actually giving away a game they should have won by 20.
No, that's more motivation. Like, you better play better.
Well, that's drunk.
Or we gonna set it on fire up here.
That's just being drunk.
So-
After like 6 beers, you're gonna hear boo.
Yeah, they probably did have quite
Sure.
a few Miller Lights.
Sure. So Game 1 came and left, and Game 2 came, and the Bucks, like you said, they never let up. The game was over at halftime.
Yeah, it was.
The game was over. Giannis was Giannis. Holiday was Holiday, and you saw the difference that Portis makes in the game when the Bucks are shooting. The one thing I want to add, the Bucks have to make three-pointers to win these games decisively.
I don't think so.
I do. When I say decisively, it was almost a 40-point win. It was almost a 40-point win, and that's because their three-point percentage was almost double what it was in Game 1 because the Bucks were making shots.
I think the Bucks made the biggest adjustment in that game too was stepping up on that pick and roll. That was the biggest adjustment that the Bucks made, and it made a difference in how Trae Young was able to get involved in the game. He wasn't able to get involved.
Yeah.
The pick and roll is probably one of the hardest plays in the NBA to guard if you got the right players. But if you contain that guard, that's because John Collins is nobody to worry about to me, to be honest. with you.
Dude, but he's
He
been
is.
balling though.
I mean, he can play, but at the same time, in a pick and roll, do you want him to have that advantage, or do you want Trae Young to have an advantage?
I see what you're saying. I think that obviously it's going to be Trae Young, but I also don't want, because with the Hawks especially, they do a lot of pick and roll to get their big man, easy buckets. So, but I see what you're saying though. In that situation, obviously you want to get Trae Young. I think the Bucks stepped up in game 2 defensively, and that's what made the difference. But also like Drew Holiday. Like Drew Holiday had a pretty horrible series against Brooklyn, and it trailed over to game 1. Middleton is still shooting, but he's not shooting a good percentage.
He almost went to pre-Chris in game 1. That Chris that we were all mad about.
But Holiday had a pretty good game 1 though.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
What was his stats?
We'll pull it up in a minute. Go ahead,
But
Zeke.
it's just one of them things where like I don't want to say 3-pointers. I just want to say altogether the Bucks were making shots in game 2 that they weren't making in game 1. Because Drew Holiday, I think I was out and I was just talking about the game and I was just like, they needed a game like this because it does take confidence into, especially when you got to go to Atlanta. He probably had like 20-something, but if you look at the field goal percentage, he was like 5 for 20 or something like that.
Are we talking about Holiday?
No, I'm talking about Middleton.
But Middleton had a horrible game.
Middleton had a horrible game.
Yeah, I'm talking about Middleton had a horrible
Yeah.
game, but then
Holiday
Holiday had a bad game 1 too.
No, he did not.
He didn't have a terrible game 1.
He had 33 and 10.
He did,
Game
but
1?
Game one.
I think
Oh, really?
we're
Okay.
we're confusing because they were so close. We're
That
confusing game 7.
That's because game 7 was
Game
so
7.
horrible.
Yeah.
Right, you might be
Kinda
right.
carried over to game 1.
You might be right. You might be right. But
Holiday at
what
the
it was.
end of Brooklyn was terrible. But go
yeah,
ahead.
you're right. You're right. I apologize because he had a decent game 1, but Middleton was the one who had a bad game 1.
Game 1, he sure
had
did.
So it's one of those things where like Holiday is starting to pick up more, and then unfortunately Middleton is still in that middle ground area where he's hitting shots, but he's not hitting consecutive shots. So I think just all together the Bucks are hitting better shots in game 2.
Go ahead.
I think it is, like I said before, they're taking the ball out of Giannis' hands and putting it in Drew's hands.
Yes, they are.
Which makes Drew Holiday a part of that offense. Drew Holiday has to be the
key.
main ball handler
If he's
in
hitting
order for that offense to run
Yeah.
like a tool machine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that, but it's just that Giannis is still the person who gets these guys these opportunities, because if I have to worry about Giannis coming down the lane, because if you don't stop him, he's just going to go in for the layup or the easy bucket or the dunk. But if you stop him, that gives him a chance to see the floor, gives him a chance to kind of kick it out to these guys. But if you give it to Drew Holiday coming out top, it doesn't give Giannis an opportunity to create. And I think that's one of the things that we don't really consider with Giannis is he's creating shots for Drew Holiday. He's creating shots for Middleton, because if you put Middleton, Drew Holiday is obviously a bigger point guard than Trae Young. But if you put him in a post in consecutive basis, you're going to start to double him. But if you got Giannis, I'm worried about Giannis coming in and so on and so forth and doubling him. That gives me Holiday opportunity to get these easier buckets.
Speaking of the series, it seems like now the refs are on Giannis because players have been complaining about him taking a long time at the free throw line. So as we know, in against Brooklyn, he was called twice for a 10-second violation. As long as I've been a basketball fan, I never knew that was even a rule. I had never seen it called ever.
I knew it was a rule, but I've never seen it really called though.
Listen, and so now it sounds like players are complaining and urging the refs to watch Giannis on that because
But
think
why do you
about
think
it.
they're complaining though?
Because it's a turnover. I think they're complaining because it's a turnover. And it's really, I don't really care, but it's really not fair because, did you all notice in the Brooklyn game, Harden was like throwing his hands up, trying to get the refs' attention? Like,
over-exaggerating.
how much time does he need to shoot a free throw? So if you're the other team, if you can catch, and Giannis goes to the free throw line a lot. He's at the line at least 8 to 10 shots a game. At least 8 to 10. And if every time you can get him on a 10-second, because he takes a long time. If you're the other, if you're the other team and you can get at least 3 of those, that's 3 forced turnovers that could potentially lead to points. So Giannis has to be mindful that now they're on you because people have complained about that whole 10-second rule. But if you're the Bucks, What do you need to do in game 3 to make sure that you don't, in your words, take the foot off of them so they can just go and end this thing in 5 games?
You got to come out and play like you played in game 2. Start out the game. Don't let up because it's game 3. Come in with the same mentality you came in game 2. We down 1.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Right.
they don't
Because
talk-
actually, we
yeah.
should be up 2-0 right now.
We should have had a 20-point
So now
victory
you
on
need
Monday.
to come into Atlanta, ready to put your foot in their neck again.
Yeah, because you come into a hostile environment, and like you said, game 2, it was over at halftime. Even though they were up big at half, I still didn't want them to take their foot off their neck because, like the Hawks, that's one of the things about the Hawks is they keep going, they keep pushing, they keep pushing stuff like that. That's how Philadelphia lost that game when they came back from 26 down in the fourth quarter because Atlanta kept on shooting, and it was one of those things where like you can't let your foot, especially now, like these games count, so you can't let your foot off the neck. You can't take Giannis out in the third quarter and keep him out for the rest of the half or whatever. No, you keep pushing. Unless you up by 50, then you could think about it, but so you can't take their foot off the neck.
Even then, you can't
because you don't want them to carry that momentum into game 3 and
Cause,
game 4.
Because Coach, the Bucks in game 2 had close to a 40-point lead, and Giannis and Middleton was still out there hitting trays rather. So to both of your point, the Bucks have to go in here like they're the underdog. That's how you have to approach the series because we blew them out. Game 1, we didn't look ready. Game 2, they didn't look ready. And now you have 2 straight in Atlanta, and Atlanta strives on their home court like most teams do.
We do.
Trae Young is a bona fide superstar.
And we
He's
struggle.
not a bona
We
fide
struggle in the
superstar
way
yet.
game.
He's an all-star, but he's not a bona fide superstar.
Trae
yet.
Young, like we talked on the episode, I think that you missed. Trae Young is one of the future superstars of the NBA. He's already there.
You can't call him a superstar yet. I'd say he's an all-star.
I won't say
Superstar is a
A
whole nother
superstar
level.
in the making. He's a superstar
No, you
in
said
the
a bona
making.
fide superstar.
He is
You
a
did
bona
say
fide
What do
superstar.
we-
He is a bona fide superstar in the making.
No,
in fact,
so
fine.
he's an all-star right now. Then
Okay. Okay.
Just
fine.
say it.
Fine.
Just say it.
Trae Young, in my opinion, will be a superstar in the NBA.
Yeah, at some point he might.
Okay. Go
But
ahead.
right now he's an all-star.
He eliminated the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid, who arguably would have won MVP if he wasn't
wouldn't.
injured.
He wouldn't.
He beat the Knicks. None of us at this table picked Atlanta to win out of the first round, so don't say you didn't. They beat the Knicks. They came in and they ran at our Milwaukee Bucks in game 1. Here's the thing that I hate as a Bucks fan. Every player, whether superstar or role player, have career nights on us. Every single time. Trae Young had a career night against us in game 1. I think Tyler Hero had a career night on us in the bubble.
But nobody had a career night in game 2 though.
Nobody had a career night.
Nobody.
Thank God. Thank God.
Nobody even had an average night.
And
if you
what
ask
I'm
me.
saying is, I say that to say, with this young superstar in the making in Trae Young, the Bucks gotta go and ball out in games 3 and 4.
The thing, the thing about that is, I kind of agree with Kesey because I don't think he's a bona fide superstar.
In the making.
I think he's a superstar in the making, and
an
that
all-star.
the
Just call
only
him
reason I'm
all-star.
saying that is because this is his first year in the playoffs. If this is like with Luka, it's back to back. You know what he's bringing to the table in the playoffs. Trae is having a good run, but I don't want to say bona fide superstar. So that's why when he was like he looking like the next Steph, I was like, let's pump our brakes
I didn't
there.
call him the next Steph.
You did.
I did not. The Facebook post is still up. I said the Bucks got him looking like the second coming of Steph, and they did
But
they did.
So then my thing about that is
in game 1.
okay. So my thing about that is just because he had 48 points, that doesn't make him the next upcoming Steph.
Didn't
Now,
call him that.
What I'm
He got a
saying,
long ways to go to get to Steph.
A long way to go.
Like Steph.
that's what I'm saying. Like Steph is like Steph before Steph was Steph. He was like lights out. Like I'm double teamed. I'm finna dribble my way out of this and still pull it with a 3.
So
Trae ain't there yet.
he's not there
but,
yet.
But what I'm saying, what I wanted to say was that I think it's one of those things where like just the teammates around him. If you let Trae go off for 48, I'm not tripping as long as you keep his teammates. Nobody had over 20.
Nobody else should score. Let
Yeah.
Trae be Trae. Let him be Trae.
No, you don't. No, you do not. That's where you get.
What?
That's where
Why?
you get burnt up
Why you
at.
say
That's
that?
how they lost. Because
Yes
you
and
got
no.
to look at it like this.
I was more impressed with the 11 assists
Think about it
and
like
the 5 rebounds.
I don't know, man.
Look at it like this. Trey is a horse. When Trey is going, it make everybody else follow suit and start having good game.
That's true.
So what the Bucks did is they in game 2 is they took Trey out the equation.
They were more up on him.
They on that screen they were up there on him. They didn't give him that shot.
They didn't give him that shot.
He's small. You got two giants down there.
He's very small.
You take
but-
him out the equation, he don't get them shots. He's not in a rhythm. So then when he started getting them shots, guess what he was doing? He was missing them.
He was missing him. He was tricking
Yeah.
him. You know,
He wasn't in the rhythm.
And
Yeah.
again,
you're right.
The statement about the clinic he put on in game 1, basically he looked unstoppable. But in game 2, the Bucks stopped him, and they stopped him hard. Okay, so I have the Bucks winning in 6. A lot of people think the Bucks can do it in 5. I'm excited about the series. It's been a competitive one. Game 3 is tonight, depending on when you're listening to this episode. Game 3 is on Sunday, the 27th of June, and Milwaukee is excited in playoffs. The Deer District has more people than the stadium does. I think there was 30,000 people down there both nights. Streets were crowded. The stadium was crowded. And finally, the city of Milwaukee has gotten behind the Bucks. So this is a great time for the city, a great time for the Bucks. Bucks in 6. Keith, what you got?
I say the Bucks in 6 as well, maybe 5.
Okay.
But I think the Bucks got to really make a statement.
So that means they're
Tonight.
winning the next 3.
They have to win tonight. Tonight will determine a lot for the Bucks,
Okay.
and they got to shut up Stephen A.
They do.
For talking about our
Oh,
city.
man, that he's
'Cause
on there.
Because I hope
It's on the list. Wait, save it for later in the show because we got to go in on Stephen A. Zeke, who you got in this Bucks Atlanta series?
Nothing changed for me. I always said Bucks in 6, and I'm sticking with it.
Bucks in 6. All right, moving on. Once again, it looks like the Clippers will be disappointed. The Los Angeles Clippers versus the Phoenix Suns. CP3 has returned. Kawhi Leonard, it's already been announced that he is out for game 5. He's out. He's not going to play again. Is this series over?
Yeah.
What's the extent of his injury, though?
No one knows.
His need.
They're not giving up any information.
They're not giving up any.
So what they've been doing is this. They've been is obviously he's sprained his ACL. He sprained his ACL. So instead of them saying he's done, they're trying to make people kind of like a strategy, like, hey, Kawhi might come back. So they're doing it every single game. But if you watch the injury, you've been watching it. He's nowhere near playing.
I think he's done. Even if something miraculous can happen, like the Clippers could come back and win, Kawhi won't even play in the finals. I'm going to tell you like this. I am disappointed in Paul George. Paul George has missed a lot of buckets. He missed, I believe, his opportunity to become the Batman of the duo. And they just have the Phoenix Suns out here looking like unstoppable. Although game 4, in my opinion, the referees decided way too much of that game last night. The Clippers should have won, but you have to make your free throws. Paul George missed many big shots or free throws that could have turned the game, but there was some very bad missed calls. The refs, for example, the turnover that they gave to Phoenix, it should have been the Clippers' ball, and that could have changed the momentum of that entire game. Literally, for the Clippers to even have a shot, they have to win the next 3 games. They have to win game 5, 6, and 7, and you have to play 2 of those in Phoenix.
Well, first of all, let's not act like it can't be done, but it's pretty much a wrap. It's a wrap for this series because Paul George, like you said before, has been very disappointed. This is his opportunity to shut down the haters and to resurrect playoff P. And he has not been able to do it. And, this just – and it's – I ain't going to say it's sad, but it just kind of like settles the debate because, now he's a Batman. I mean, I'm sorry, now he's a Robin. He's going to be a Robin for the rest of his career, and it is what it is. And, we want to sit here and I don't think it's I guess the question for me is, do you blow up the situation? Because if you don't have the full roster, then I think you still need to give it another year. I think that
They had him last year, though.
what?
They had the full roster last year.
They did have the full roster last year, and Doc River got fired. So they made the change. But I think that this is kind of crazy. This is kind of messed up because it kind of takes away from like Lou getting his flowers as a great one of the great coaches in this league. Kawhi is missing another opportunity to take the crown away from LeBron,
Which he will
in
never
LA.
do.
In LA, so it's just one of them things where it's like, I don't know if you need to like blow this team up after they lose, but you got to take a look at it. But I think one of the main things, you not having your Batman on your team has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah. Keith, is the series over?
The series is over for them. Paul George, I mean, he has not played terrible to me, honestly. He's missed some free throws, and it happens. LeBron missed free throws.
Yeah.
Kawhi has missed free throws.
Not with like 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
With the
they
game
have.
on the line.
A lot of them have missed free throws with the
Not
game,
with the
on,
game
the
on the
line.
line.
Maybe not this year,
Not
but they have
ever.
in previous years.
Not ever.
LeBron has.
Not ever. LeBron has never missed free throws
now
with
you
the
know
game
I'm
on the
a
line.
LeBron
Not even with not just the game on the line, the series on the line.
I don't even say the series. I'll just say the game. Well, I'm talking about playoff game. I'll say with a playoff game on the line, I don't think LeBron James has ever missed any free throws.
He has, man.
He has.
He hasn't.
In fact, against Golden State, the year they won, when he overacted his injury when he dunked, he missed a couple big free throws. But I get what you're saying about Paul George. Paul George missed several. I think he missed 3 or 4 in this game that could have been the turning point of the game for the Clippers. But go ahead.
But my thing is, you look at that roster, outside of Paul George, who else is on there is dependable?
A bunch of niggas.
You can't ask that.
It's a bunch of niggas.
You can't ask that question because they made the conference finals. We
But they-
can't,
but-
we can't ask that question.
But
because
I think Paul George puts up a good fight. He don't got it in him with that roster.
I guess my thing about that is this though. Like, if Paul George is putting up, I don't want to say astronomical numbers. Let's say he puts up 25, 6, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Those are average Paul George kind of numbers, and they still lose the game. I'm okay with like, he couldn't get it done. But when I put you in a situation where all you have to do is make the free throws, you are a 89, 90% from the free throw line, 85 at the least, and you still can't bring it home. Now we got to have a discussion. Like,
Yeah.
hey, what's
And
up?
so what do you say about the move DeMarcus Cousins pulled at the end of the game then?
Well, DeMarcus Cousins, we already know is a dirty player.
No,
so
he's a nigga. He's a nigga.
we shouldn't be surprised. But here's the thing that I think I want Sports America to think about while we're so hard on Paul George and these missed free throws. Game 1, it was only 120 to 114. They lost by 6.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2 was 104 to 103. They lost by 1. The Clippers came out, in your word, and put their foot on their neck in Game 3 and won 106 to 92.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first game that Chris Paul was back on.
Courtesy of Reggie Jackson.
Curtis Ray Jackson and Devin Booker was off.
Devin Booker was
Chris
off.
Paul had just came back. He was off.
Broken nose.
They was like
the mask.
They was like 8 for 20 or
Yeah.
like 8 for
Yeah.
like 30 or something like that.
So that was really the only blowout. And then Game 4, they lost by 4 as a result of, in my opinion, bad reffing and Paul George missing his free throws. So when you look back at this series when it ends, and I believe it will end tomorrow night on Game 5, you're going to look at the Clippers and say, dude, y'all blew it. Y'all blew it.
I don't want to.
I don't think they'll lose Game 5.
You don't think they'll lose
In
the game
Phoenix,
5? In
Game
Phoenix?
5 in Phoenix with Chris Paul now at 100%, ready to
think-
go. He had
I-
that COVID cough, though. Did y'all catch that in the interview? He had that COVID cough. They were asking him a question, and he had that COVID cough, bro.
Hey, man. Don't put that man business out here.
I don't know about
Good thing he ain't sensitive.
the only way they don't lose
He
that
actually
game.
is, but
the,
go ahead.
The only way they don't lose that game is Paul George got to put up 40.
Or more. Or more. Because Phoenix knows
Even
they
in a
have
losing
a
effort,
chance.
like even in a losing effort, he needs to put up like 40.
They even in the right now, Phoenix knows. They asked Paul George a question about being up 3-1, And Chris Paul. And Chris Paul said he didn't want to talk about it. Chris Paul said he didn't want to talk about it. He said, I've been there before, don't want to talk about it. Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns, they know that they have a chance to get to the NBA Finals for the first time in Chris Paul's career. They are going to come out tomorrow bringing the fire on their home court. They want to win the Western Conference Championship on Monday, June 28th.
And let's not even talk. Let's not even. Well, I'll say this. Let's not act like this is some surprise for Phoenix because they are the number 2 seed. They were balling all season.
They were.
So let's not act like this is one of the things like, oh, man, these guys came out of nowhere. And I think the only reason we're somewhat in like I think that they're getting so much praise because nobody was taking them seriously, especially when you're going against LeBron and you're going against these giants. Even though they going against the Clippers without Kawhi, and that does make a difference. Let's not act like that. That does make a difference because Kawhi will be like, I got Booker, y'all. Let's just wrap this up.
We can't say that because just like Bucks in Brooklyn, it makes a difference. A win's a win.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that let's act like they're not supposed to be here because they do have a really good team.
Yeah, but
for Cameron Payne to come off for him to play game 1 and 2 without Chris Paul, and game 2 he had 29.
He in a rhythm though. That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like these are young ballers.
Chris Paul got them in, and that's the thing though. Chris Paul has got them in a rhythm, and by him getting them in the rhythm, it's carried on from series to series. And now they got it in their head like.
We can do this.
We can do this. We can't be beat.
Yeah. And it also comes down again to coaching. We got to give Monty Williams some credit for making adjustments because Chris Paul came back in game 3 and they got blew out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he was sluggish. He was sluggish.
They got blew out.
He got 2 weeks of no ball.
Monty Williams is making good adjustments in the game.
He is.
In his play setup is he's getting everybody to the spots they like to shoot.
Yes.
So if you get your players in the spots they like to shoot, guess what? They're going to hit some shots.
Exactly. And then on top of that, like Chris Paul is not only, a floor general. He's another coach on the court.
Yeah, he is.
So
kind of a bully.
I don't say bully. He's annoying.
He be talking trash, bro.
He's annoying.
But he has to though.
I can't think of it.
What?
He has to.
He does.
Yeah, he does. But the center, I can't think of dude's name. The center for Phoenix,
DeAndre
Ayton.
Oh man,
he has he was saying after game 3, was that game 4? He has helped his career tremendously.
Oh, absolutely.
And I seen somebody say, "Yeah, he has helped my career tremendously." And then somebody was like, "Also Blake Griffin, also DeAndre Jordan, also all these big men that." Like, if Chris Paul has a good, capable big man, he will make the plays and make the moves and so on and so forth.
Makes them look like superstars.
Yeah, so it's one of the things like, Chris, that's why Chris Paul at the end of the season was talking about should he get MVP because he makes a vast difference in these teams. And you see what happens after he leaves.
But what did I say from day one? Please tell me what I said from day one.
You said Chris Paul makes teams better. I didn't agree with you. You said
I said that.
But I'm just saying.
He just asked me what did he say. I just told him what he said.
I was standing on that at the beginning of the season
you were.
from day one.
But I think we all were concerned about his ability to stay healthy.
You were.
Everybody was. Go listen to the tape.
I said that. Chris Paul can get you through a season and make everybody better.
Hey, man,
it's just the point.
I'm tired of you making me seem like I'm the antichrist of the NBA.
Can he just stay healthy during the playoffs? That's what the biggest thing was.
That's all we're talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, he's proven so far, yes, other than his COVID scare. But
Cameron Payne helps.
You said what?
Cameron Payne, he helps.
I mean, and honestly,
if you can get a young guy to come off the bench and give you like 20, 30 minutes of rest, like you said, get in the rhythm, go ahead.
And Payne is in the rhythm, and somebody got to stop him.
Yeah, and honestly, I think
I hope it's the Bucks.
He need one of them Oakley elbows. That's what he needs. One of them.
Well, DeMarcus Cousins is still playing. Hopefully, he doesn't hear this.
He needs one of those Oakley elbows or that Anthony Mason shoulder.
Oh, rest in peace, Anthony Mason. Rest in peace.
Beverly, well, he too busy hawking Booker.
Yeah, and he's getting schooled every time he
Destroyed.
does it. So who you got, man? The Clippers or the Suns? Do the Suns wrap this up in 5?
I got Phoenix in 6. I think the Clippers will win one more.
Zeke, what you got?
Just off the strength.
I got Phoenix in 5.
Paul George,
All
don't let me
right.
down, bro.
So by the
I got
time
faith in you for one more.
No,
by
you
the
don't.
time we record next week on the 5th, we could be previewing the NBA Finals because you said Phoenix
I
and,
said Phoenix in 5.
and you said the Bucks in
I
5.
said Bucks in 6.
Bucks in
I
6.
said Bucks in 5.
Bucks in 5. So this time next week, we could be previewing the NBA Finals. And we got, Kesey, you got who in the finals as we close out this segment of the show?
I got Phoenix and Milwaukee.
Phoenix and Milwaukee. Zeke?
Ain't nothing changed. I said Phoenix, Milwaukee.
He said, Zeke has been saying, I was listening to some.
He said Phoenix though.
I've
said
been
Phoenix,
listening
Milwaukee.
to
Agree
some.
with that jive turkey, but he's right.
Let me tell you something. I was listening to our episode from April 26th called LeBron versus Jordan. Even on that episode, he was riding Phoenix high. He was riding Phoenix and the Bucks and the Knicks on that episode. And you and I were hard on Phoenix.
Yeah.
I need you to go back and listen to that episode. We were going in on Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and the Phoenix Suns. So we got to give him a little credit for sticking.
LeBron.
We were Lakers. We were Lakers. We were all Lakers before this whole
'Cause
bubble
I'm not
thing.
a bandwagon jumper.
But here,
Not a bandwagon jumper.
at the
either.
end of the day, I'm agreeing with you both. We got Phoenix and Milwaukee in the finals, and it'll start in Phoenix if that's the case. It's going to
It will.
start in Phoenix either way. It's going to start in Phoenix or LA, no matter who wins
No.
it from Milwaukee. Yeah, because Phoenix is number 1, and I think what was the Clippers?
Clippers are number 4, Bucks are number 3.
Were the Clippers number 4
Yeah.
or were they number 3?
Remember, they didn't play their last couple of games because they wanted to play.
That's true. They
They
were
were trying
running
to
from
avoid-
LeBron.
they were running
So
from
either
LeBron.
way, either team, whether it be Atlanta or Milwaukee, they visit Phoenix for
Yes,
the NBA
that's
Finals
true.
to
That's
start.
true.
So the whole 94 Feet Nation is going with the Bucks and the Clippers in the finals. So
I mean-
I'm sorry, the Bucks and the Suns in the
So
finals.
who got home court advantage?
Phoenix Suns has it no matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what. Whether Atlanta wins
Yeah.
or Milwaukee, Phoenix win. If Phoenix wins, Phoenix starts the finals in Phoenix, Arizona. No matter who wins in the Eastern Conference. So,
I mean, I do have a confession.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, the reason I wanted the Bucks and Phoenix to play for the finals because I thought, oh, okay, this is a easier team to defeat. I've been watching these games. Be
You
careful
scared?
what you ask for.
You scared?
Be careful what you ask for. I'm not scared. I'm just saying, be careful what you ask for.
I mean, Phoenix, they're no joke, but I think the Bucks can pull it off. But let's save it for the finals preview. Moving on, let's jump around a bit here. Stephen A. Smith had some harsh words for the city of Milwaukee. Actually, the whole First Take crew did. It was very disrespectful, in my opinion. But Stephen A. led the pack by saying he called Milwaukee a terrible city, and he wasn't excited about the possibility of reporting for the finals in Milwaukee. What do we make of that clown's comments? And let's not act like Stephen A. is.
Well, first of all,
You know what?
let
I'm
me
gonna just say this
something
right
real
now,
quick.
and I'm gonna get it out the way.
Hold on a second, real quick.
I've had
Hold on,
a-
I'm saying, let
Real
go.
quick.
Let me say this one part.
Hold on a second. I was
You
gonna say
can
this
go
part.
on.
Hold up.
I've had enough of that jive turkey, Uncle Tom.
No, but hold on a second though. This is the thing that was crazy about Stephen A. Because at first it was like Stephen A. got asked a
What you
question.
call him?
A jive turkey.
That jive turkey, Uncle Tom nigga. That's what he is.
You know what?
And when he come here,
I'm mad because Kesey been
I
holding
hope
that
they-
in. And he's saying that because there's other stuff he didn't say it. This just add. Oh, this what you said? Oh yeah.
How you gonna put a city on blast like that on national TV, man?
Look, I know this. This
I hope
summed
they
it up
put
for
him
me.
on 4 bricks.
This two things. Number one,
Don't come to Hillside. Don't come down to the 5-star forum because
Oh,
we
man.
booing you up out of there.
No,
Go ahead.
a couple things. I always like to see people's point of view, and so when he said it, and when it was said, and they were joking around. It was like, really, y'all. So first of all, it's fuck First Take. That's first of all.
You say what?
That's fuck.
No,
First
no.
Take.
Why would you ask him to repeat it?
You know how well I wanted to read it.
It's fuck First Take.
You
Listen,
already said it 3 times in a row.
So let's start there. But here's the question for y'all. Because one of y'all like to travel a lot. Atlanta, Los Angeles, Phoenix, or Milwaukee. Where are you going?
So first
That's
of
the
all,
question.
No.
Oh, go ahead. I'm glad you answered it first. Let me say this again. L.A., Atlanta, Phoenix, or Milwaukee? Where are you going?
So I'm going to tell you.
I
like
love
this.
my city. Where are you going?
I'm going to tell you like this. In the summers, Milwaukee is a great place to be.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Milwaukee has a lot to offer. The Fiserv Forum being one of the newest arenas in the NBA.
Okay.
Milwaukee is an attractive place to be. Now,
Oh man, here we go.
Stephen A. Smith's comments, he added some additional content. He interviewed with Mary Stoker Smith on Fox 6 because he got a lot of backlash. And he said, listen, people, y'all need to relax.
Hold on. This is what he said per quote. And this would really fuck me up.
I feel you. Say it again.
Please
I'm
don't.
not going. He said, it was like, it has nothing to do with the citizens, the fans, the team, the facilities. The Hyatt downtown, I used to love staying there. It's all good. I've got friends in the town there. The people are great. I just don't like the cold weather. And Milwaukee, to me, is cold weather. Very, very simple. I ain't apologizing for it. I ain't changing my mind about it. It is
Listen,
what it is.
So
Hold on. Before you say anything else, that's bullshit. You want me to tell you why?
I know why it's bullshit. Why is it bullshit?
Because the NBA Finals is going to be in the summertime. It ain't a drop of cold weather here right now.
it's not, but it is Milwaukee. It's cold like 15 months out the year.
And you know what? You know what's more bullshit about it? He from New York.
He's from New York.
He from New York.
And covered Philly most of his career. Philly's a dump.
Not even a dump. They getting 15 inches every year.
Well, I said what I said. I've traveled the world
So you gonna call it a dog?
many times.
So
if
back
he
to
can
my
call
original
Milwaukee
question.
a terrible city, how come we can't call these other places? So you're telling. So Atlanta is Atlanta, mind you. Atlanta has a huge Milwaukee Bucks fan base. Have y'all ever watched Atlanta play the Bucks on TV?
Oh, I know. I see
They
it.
have a huge fan base.
do.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if tonight Milwaukee gets some cheers in that stadium because Milwaukee also travel. Atlanta ain't nothing but an hour and 45-minute flight over. So let's start there. Stephen A. Smith, one thing I'll give him credit for, man, controversy creates cash. That dude will say anything to get us debating, to get us upset. He went in on LeBron. He went in on KD. He had a video montage to back up his claim of Kwame Brown being a terrible player. So this is what Stephen A. does.
Stephen A. is a jackass. And I'm going to say it.
This
And if
is-
don't nobody else say it. If he was on, what's the show called?
First Take.
No, with Charlemagne.
The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. He should get Donkey of the Day.
So at the end of the day, Stephen A. Smith, your comments were very disrespectful to the city of Milwaukee. But granted, Phoenix is dope. It's always hot there. I'm in Phoenix in October to go to the Packers game.
Listen, check this out. Before you go any further, I went to Phoenix. Man, it was so damn hot there. I'm telling you right now.
Did you have a good time?
Listen, I
Did
went
you
in.
have a good time?
How can you have a good time when you cooking like a piece of barbecue chicken all day?
I enjoy the hot weather,
Listen,
so I'm not. Hey,
It's hot.
I'll
Okay,
take it.
I'm gonna tell you this.
I'll
story.
take it.
We went shopping, right? We went in the mall, probably like 10 o'clock.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Okay.
Got up early, hit the mall so we can get something to wear.
Uh,
Come out, probably it's a little after 12. Man, I
118.
walked out the door, and I just started sweating like
Profusely.
profusely. I'm like, what in the HE double hockey stick is going on here? I am sweating. It was so hot. I threw my lunch on the hood to warm it up.
But
I cannot stand you. Shut up.
I am
now,
serious.
Dre,
he
you
wanna
are
talk
the
about
traveler.
Milwaukee
Dre,
weather.
you the traveler.
I am.
You the traveler.
I am.
I'm gonna ask you again.
I am.
L.A., Atlanta, Phoenix, Milwaukee. Where you going?
I might probably go to Phoenix.
Over Atlanta and
Well, see, Atlanta is like our neighbor. You can visit Atlanta. Phoenix is a 4-hour flight away. LA is overrated to me. I'm sorry. Like, I don't get why people want to live in a place where you pay $3,000 a month for rent, where the food costs an arm and a leg just to eat. So, again, I'm a little different. But at the end of the day, Stephen A., you're going to be in Milwaukee for the finals. Get used to it. Book the Pfister Hotel for your room. Bring First Take out there along with Kenny, Chuck, and Shaq for TNT inside the NBA, and take these boos that you about to get from the city of Milwaukee.
Man, he better not come and walk. He better stay in
got to.
Chicago.
Oh, he got to.
He got to.
He better stay in Chicago. He better stay in Chicago. I'm telling you
My
right
thing-
now.
they gonna book- they
I
gonna-
know. If I know one thing, I know how Milwaukee people are.
Oh,
I was
they
just
all
gonna
on
say,
him. They on him.
Not only they own them, they started a petition.
Oh, yeah.
Then I have him come. That's number one. Number two, if you think Philadelphia was throwing popcorn and all they could think it was bad, all right.
Let me
to
tell you
Milwaukee.
something. Let me tell you something. The
Okay.
Deer District, where they likely will be reporting live from if the Bucks, when the Bucks make it to the finals, First Take, ESPN, the minute they show Stephen A, it's a wrap.
But my good people in Milwaukee, don't give him the
Don't-
pleasure.
don't
give him the
Now,
pleasure.
obviously,
'Cause
be
you-
civil. This is just trash talk.
Be civil.
This is
Don't
trash
give
talk.
him the pleasure.
Yeah, don't.
And the part that annoys me about Stephen A's comments, you wouldn't come to Milwaukee, but you would show up in Green Bay. Green Bay's even cold.
That irritated me because I know know for a fact. Oh, Green Bay. Oh yeah, we out there.
Oh, yeah, we out there.
We out there.
Yeah.
And
out
Green
there.
Bay ain't got nothing up there but bars in the stadium.
Nothing up there.
So that tells you a lot about Stephen A.
I mean, somebody
Stephen A is biased. He's
Somebody
biased.
posted a picture of him
Stephen-
with David Clark, so that's all I need to see.
Stephen A. is an Uncle Tom nigga who like to drink.
I'm not gonna say all that. I'm not
I ain't
gonna
gonna say that
I'm not
either.
gonna say all that.
But
what I'll say is
I
somebody
said
summed
it.
this up for me.
And I meant it.
Somebody summed this up for me. I was talking to him
And I'm
about
pretty
this
sure
same
Kwame
situation.
gonna back me up.
But somebody summed
Stephen
this
A,
up.
don't come for Milwaukee, bro.
Somebody summed this up for me when I was talking to them about this situation. They was like, if you're not from the city, don't talk shit about the city.
Exactly.
And that goes
Exactly.
for every city. Like if you from LA, you can talk crazy about LA because you from LA. You from Chicago, you can talk crazy about Chicago because you from Chicago. But if
agreed.
you're not from here, don't talk about the city.
Exactly.
Plain simple.
And not only that, I think it takes away from, if the Bucks indeed do make it, like we all believe they do, it takes away from the moment that we've been fighting for. The Bucks have been bad since we've been kids. They won a
I
championship.
would say bad because we had some
I
glory.
am.
We
It's
had
been
some-
up and
We
down.
had some glory years,
The
It's been
Bucks
up and
last
down.
won the championship in 1974.
but we had some glory years in between there.
We had the Ray Allen year, the year we got robbed from the finals. We had the Brandon Jennings 55-point year. We drafted Giannis, and the past 3 or 4 seasons have been good. But most of our lifetimes, the Bucks have been bad. Let's not act like
We
that.
haven't got a ring since I've been alive.
That's what I'm saying.
I
None
mean,
of us.
It's been decent.
None of us.
It's been up and down.
So for Stephen A to get on and say Milwaukee is a terrible city, you just don't say things like that, okay? You keep that's for you and your homies when the cameras aren't rolling. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with
I
that.
mean the economic impact that the finals is going to bring to the city. You know what I'm saying? And Stephen A is influential, so people will start listening. Milwaukee, it was trending. It was freaking trending.
Everybody, every
It was
news,
trending.
every sports, anything was talking about it.
And then everybody,
All right.
had to defend Milwaukee. Well, here's what to do in
Yeah.
Milwaukee. However, Milwaukee does have black on black crime. They have running red lights. They have trash cities. They have poor populations. They have tent city. So when you make statements like that, you make people start digging up drama
All the negatives.
and all the negative stuff of the city. So Stephen A was out of line. Of course, Milwaukee will be civil, but Stephen A, don't bring that mess to Milwaukee. We don't want you here. Stay away.
I mean, I think that just when he said it, I looked at it from a basketball perspective as far as it being terrible city is pretty harsh, and the person who said it was Molly. Like I said, fuck First Take. But
I totally agree. Who the hell is Molly? Molly who?
Molly Rose, Jalen Rose.
Oh, I know.
They that's his thing. But
Right, and they from Chicago. He got a whole school in Chicago.
who?
Rose, he got a whole school in Chicago.
Oh no, he's from Detroit.
But he has a school in Chicago.
Does he?
Yes.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But the
Either way
point
it
is,
go, she is out of order.
She
yeah,
is.
you out of
He
order.
is out of order.
You out of
they
order.
are out of order. And like Zeke said,
If you ain't from the city, don't talk shit about the city. First point blank.
real,
Period.
For real, agreed. Let's talk about the coaching movement. I just got a text. I just got a text on my phone from Bleacher Report. And
A notification?
A notification, and the Bleacher Report. I'm trying to act like Stephen A. Smith, like I'm more important than I'm not. Bleacher
you're
Report
not,
is
but-
saying that the Orlando Magic is considering Penny Hardaway as their head coach of the Orlando Magic. Now, there has been a lot of movement on the coaching front. What we know, Rick Carlisle is headed to the Indiana Pacers again. Jason, again, he
What do you
coached the Pacers back in 02 to 07. Rick Carlisle did. He was a part of the coaching staff. They got rid of their coach after one season, right? Jason Kidd, which is probably the biggest shocker for me because he turned down Portland. Jason Kidd is headed to the Dallas Mavericks as the head coach.
Okay, think of it like this.
Hold up. Let me get through a few more. Brad Stevens and the Lakers brought in Emi Udoka. I'm pretty sure I butchered that, who spent a lot of time with the Brooklyn Nets.
That was I don't like that hire, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
me either. I think it was a safe hire. And
Who hired him?
the Boston Celtics, Brad Stevenson. So you have other coaches out of jobs. Scott Brooks is out of a job. In fact, Rick Carlisle was linked to the Bucks until we won the conference finals. Rick Carlisle was linked to the Bucks, but it sounds like we're going to be stuck with Bud, win or lose. Scott Brooks is out of a job. Stan Van Gundy is out of a job. Steve Clifford is out of a job. Terry Stotts is out of a job. Nate McMillan is still carrying the interim tag. What do we think about the coaching movement? What was the biggest shocker for you? I've already said, for me, Jason Kidd to Dallas kind of shocked me because Jason Kidd is known to be kind of dirty in that sense where, I'm not interested in head coaching jobs, which he said about Portland, but ends up with Dallas, right? Which I like.
You got to think of it like this. He had some glory years in Dallas.
I was just
He
gonna
did.
say
And
he had
won a
one.
championship in Dallas.
And that's probably what brought him to Dallas. Like,
He was terrible in Milwaukee.
Well,
He was not terrible.
He wasn't terrible.
what?
in Milwaukee.
We didn't have a very good roster.
We have a
at that
good
time.
roster. Go ahead, because I think I agree with you. Go ahead,
Go ahead,
what you're
Keith.
saying.
I think some of them should be out of a job. Because you still got people like Mark Jackson who ain't got a job yet.
Mark Jackson hasn't even had an interview.
And they won't even give him a shot.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I don't know if he's turning it down, but we would have heard rumors about that. But I'm looking at that because, like you said before, once, because I was thinking, if we lost to Brooklyn, I wanted Bud to not even take the plane with the Bucks, and I wanted them to hire Rick Carlisle.
Yep.
Like the next day, like, yeah, we're getting rid of Bud. We're gonna hire Rick. I want them at the same press conference. That's how fast I wanted it to happen because I knew he was gonna get picked up.
quick.
I think that, like, I agree with Kesey. One of those things, like with Jason Kidd, if you have a history with a team, and he has coaching experience, so it's
He
not
does.
like it's his first year.
He does.
But so I think it's one of those things where, like, okay, I can see that. And then Rick Carlisle,
I like him for Luka. I like Kidd for
that's what I'm
Luka.
saying. He left. He didn't get fired. He left Dallas, and he was like, I hope Jason Kidd gets the job. But to me, the thing about, like, Steve Van Gundy, even the Indiana Pacers coach who got fired in the middle of the season, he might have got fired. I don't know when he got fired, but he got fired. These older coaches aren't being able to connect with the younger players. And I find that very interesting just because you have these guys in power who are like 20, 21 years old, and they're able to tell guys with coaching experience and who've won championships, like, I don't like the way you're doing that. And so this whole coaching carousel thing is just, part of the NBA or whatever. But that's just a little interesting part to me. I think that if you're with a team for 5-6 years and you keep on coming to the same spot like the Portland Trailblazers, I think it's time to bring in some fresh blood.
Chauncey Billups was just announced as Portland's coach.
Yeah, so them picking up Chauncey to help with
He got the head coaching?
Yeah,
he got the head coaching job, yeah.
So with the Chauncey Billups situation, it should be interesting because he too has some assistant coaching experience. This will be his first head coaching job. So it'll be very interesting because it's not like he has to polish Dame. He has to, kind of work with everybody else and push Dame's strengths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that'll be very interesting.
I think Chauncey is a good choice for Dame, though.
It is a good choice. I'm just saying, like,
I'm agreeing with you. Like,
Yeah.
like Chauncey got.
well, I guess
some-
the reasoning behind it is what I'm skeptical about. Because when you hire, let's say, what came with Steve Nash? Steve Nash got hired in Brooklyn.
With no experience.
By the way, it was a bad hire, but whatever.
Terrible
So
hire.
he got picked up by Brooklyn because he's a point guard, and it's kind of like, hey, we know you don't really need to do anything with this big three, but the rest of this team, we kind of need you to kind of navigate and get these guys, like these point guards, get them on the same page and so on and so forth, and have them running the offense and so on and so forth. So, I don't know. It's just one of them things where we'll have to see. It is a lot of new coaches out there getting first-time head coaching jobs. So, next NBA should be very interesting for those teams who picked up a new coach.
Does Becky Hammon have a shot at becoming a head coach? She's been interviewed. Her name's been thrown around. Does she have a shot? Is the NBA ready for a female head coach?
You asking me that?
I'm asking.
I think you should ask.
I'm asking the 94 Feet Nation.
TC.
Does she have a shot at the head coaching
Do you
job?
think she has
I mean, she interviewed for the Bucks job, but they ultimately brought in Bud. She interviewed
for the Bucks job?
She did, but they ultimately brought in Bud. She interviewed for a number of jobs this season.
I think it has to be the right time, right situation, and right place. You know what I mean?
Do you think that
Because
she's capable of?
Anybody can be capable.
I mean, she works for Pop. I mean, look at the Pop regime.
That is
Look at the
very
Pop.
true.
But
That's very true.
My
I've
man
heard good
that
things about-
coached LeBron, ballhead dude. What's his?
Brown.
Oh, Mike Brown.
Mike Brown was under that regime, and Steve Kerr, all those players that were under the Pop regime do big things in coaching.
She
They
does do
have good
preseason.
years.
She does do preseason, and I heard she commands the huddle. So I mean, you know what? Yeah, you know what, Dre? You're right. It is about time, and we are ready for a female coach. I think that
Female head coach.
a female head coach. I think that it's about that time, especially somebody who has been doing it for a while, who knows the game, and so. I think it's about time. I think it's not a bad move that she was to get hired or a publicity stunt.
Listen to this. These are all the coaches that have worked under Pop. Brett Brown, coach of the 76ers. Mike Budenholzer. Monty Williams. Jim Boylan. And, of course, Mike Brown. All these guys have come, and they had somewhat decent seasons after they've left the Pop tree. So Becky should get a shot for sure. But to your point, is the NBA ready? Are the players ready? Do you see how they respond to the female referees?
That's why I say it has to be the right situation, right place, and the right time. Because you're not just talking about her skills as a coach. You're talking about her skills. Well, not even her skills, but players being able to adjust to that.
Respect her.
Yeah.
That's what it comes to.
But she deserves a shot.
Because it's some players that ain't gonna respect her.
No.
Just off the strength of how they were not even say brought up, just their morals of what they expect of women.
Yeah, I want to say more. You had it right the first time. It was just how they were brought up and how they view women.
How would you feel playing for a woman coach?
What? But you said what?
How would you feel playing for a woman's coach?
Well, since I don't play sports, I don't have to really, I mean, honestly.
I asked the wrong question, but back to you.
No, seriously, because where we are in America now, I wouldn't mind because we've evolved as Americans. I mean, that's just like, when you talk about the minority in the room, you got women, you have African Americans, you have LGBT. And so depending on where you are, it's time for everybody to just have an equal shot. I mean, the NBA still don't have many black coaches, right? They still don't have many black head coaches. Steve Nash never coached today and got a job.
Yeah, Mark Jackson is still sitting at home.
Still sitting at home. Terry Porter, coach for the Bucks, had 2 bad seasons, hasn't been a head coach since.
He had a horrible team.
Horrible team. So I think right now for Becky Hammon to be a household name in the NBA, she does deserve a shot. But here's my thing. Pop, if you want her to have a shot, step aside and let her have your seat.
That's what I thought she was going to do.
Step aside and let her have.
But I'm gonna tell you
let
like
her
this.
inherit the Spurs.
Her name might be a curse too.
Oh.
Becky.
Why you say that?
Because of the Becky situation with the NBA. You know what I mean? So,
Moving
throw in the shot.
Just
moving on.
Okay.
Congrats to all the coaches.
But I think she is really good though. But
She's good.
I just don't know.
Yeah, you have to deliver. You have to win because even though you're not on the court, you're often blamed for things.
You don't have to win. I just think that if you're putting on a good, like you said before, if she has a terrible team, she has a terrible team.
Yeah.
Who is she in the line? The coach for what team?
The Spurs. She's I don't know this year, but she was a finalist for the Bucks when they hired Mike Booth.
She was a finalist for this year was Portland.
Portland.
It was Portland. Okay, she didn't get the job, but because Chauncey Billups got it.
You think Dame has something to do with that?
Well, I mean, Dame is a superstar. Of course, he has something to do with it. So what do you think? In fact, Dame wanted Jason Kidd, and he settled for Chauncey Billups, and he settled for Billups.
First of all, he didn't settle. There are still rumors. There's still word on the street that Dame might walk.
Well, that
or
and
he might ask for a trade.
And also Billups, and you know how people like to bring up the past. Billups' past is now becoming an issue already, and he hasn't coached yet. About an alleged incident back from early 2000 in Portland or something that he did, and so there's been a lot of Twitter back and forth between fans and Dame on some of Chauncey Billups' personal life, but, you know, not our story to tell. We wish all the coaches the best of luck, and hopefully Becky Hammon gets a shot to be a head coach in the NBA. And then finally, the rumor mill is talking about if Brooklyn should trade Kyrie, which we'll revisit that next week. But apparently, Kesey's going to bring us up to speed on the Scottie Pippen, Kevin Durant beef. What in the world is going on between an all-time great and a future great? What's going on?
So the Scottie Pippen made a tweet, right? Mm-hmm. The tweet said
wilding. He was wilding. Go ahead.
You talking about Billups?
No, I'm talking about.
It was basically saying.
Okay.
KD is a better scorer than LeBron, but KD is not LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And
no lies told.
He'll never be LeBron, is what he said.
No lies told. Go ahead.
And KD took offense to it and was like, Scotty, ain't you the one who didn't go in the game? Because
took the last shot?
Because the last play wasn't drew up for you?
Yep.
That is very true.
It's very true. I watched the game. I'll never forget it.
And what else did he say about Scotty?
Well, he was going in on Scott. He was going in on. Well, I ain't say going in. He had his opinion about Kevin Durant. He had his opinion about Ben Simmons and his free throw. He was just going on a tear, like a real tear.
But I don't really
Scottie Pippen has a chip on his shoulder. He going after Michael Jordan. He's going after that Bulls series that he was a part of. Now it sounds like he's going after Kevin Durant. Scottie Pippen has a huge chip on his shoulder right now.
But I don't think he was taking a shot at him. I think he was just
maybe
analyzing. You know what I'm saying? From his perspective. And my thing is, how can you be so sensitive on every time somebody says something about you?
Well, you know, Kevin Durant does not do well with the press. He does not do well being judged. He does not do well with people talking bad about him. I think if KD ever got a hold of our episodes, he would blackball us from some of our episodes. So Kevin Durant, mind you, too, KD has nothing but time.
But he
has nothing but time.
But my only thing is, though, you cannot come at a six-time NBA champion like that who just made an analyzed comment. It wasn't like he didn't really disrespect him.
He was the greatest small forward until LeBron James came.
I mean, he didn't disrespect him.
And then my thing is, people keep talking about Scotty like he would have never been this and he would have never been that without
MJ.
But MJ would have never been nothing what he is without Scotty.
Here's the thing. Jordan credited Scottie Pippen a lot.
Yeah, he did.
And I think a lot of times, especially with these older guys, they just want a little bit more credit than everybody's giving them.
Yeah, attention.
Because I don't even want to say attention, because if you talk to Scottie Pippen, you'd be like, man, it wouldn't be no 6 championships without me.
And he's right.
And Jordan has said that. But when we came to see the Bulls play in those days, we came to see Michael Jordan.
I came to see Scotty. I was the biggest Scotty fan.
I liked them both.
I was the biggest Scottie Pippen fan growing up.
Both
number
of y'all.
33
Hold on. Both of y'all. Stop it. Y'all full of shit.
33 was my number.
Do you or do you not have a pair of Jordans Or do you have a pair of Scottie Pippen?
Well, his shoes were ugly.
Do you have a pair of Jordans? Or do you have a pair of Scottie Pippen?
Wait a
Well, he
second.
haven't had a new pair of shoes come out, but I had the Scottie Pippens when
They
they
had
came
a lot
out.
of Scottie
What-
Pippens.
The
what-
white
see-
and red ones with the black bottom, I was
Since
busting them.
Kesey's running, ask the question. I have many pair of Air Jordans. Okay, let's go there. But never. That doesn't mean it. It just means Scottie's shoes were ugly, and you and I both know they were ugly.
I'm just saying that nobody came to see Scottie.
Well,
A vast large of people did not come to see Scottie.
The
We came to
Bulls-
see Jordan.
But that,
You are a Jordan
but that,
fan.
But that
I
because,
am.
Stop it.
But
I
that
am.
comes from the networks
I am.
making one player
That's-
that solidified person of that team.
Everybody, if there's a Batman,
what I mean?
there's a Batman, there's a
Because
Robin.
my thing is, look at it like this. Look at that Golden State team. How do you consider one of them the solidified person of that team?
Steph
Steph
Curry.
Curry.
Okay, but who was better?
Steph Curry.
You think he's better than KD? Do you think he'll go down in the history book as being better than KD?
Oh no.
He won't go down
Okay,
being
then,
better,
but
but
the media who made that team make Steph Curry the face of that team.
no, because KD joined that team after he lost.
Thank you.
I get that, but at the same time, if you're the better player,
Every team-
how can you?
Every team has a Batman. Every team has a Robin.
I'm saying it, y'all missing my whole point.
What's your
No,
point?
what's your
Is
point?
that it's not that they not the better player. He might have been a better player, but the media makes that one person the better player.
Bruh, Scottie Pippen.
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but here's the thing though. Most of the time it's true.
My bad.
There's never been a time where one guy was better than the other, but we're still coming to see this guy. That happened one time, and you're not gonna like my answer. What is that? You know what that one time was? When LeBron James joined the Miami Heat, and he took that team from
Dwayne
D-Wade.
Wade. He did.
That was the only time that's ever happened.
And-
Because when you even LeBron was like, well, you know, there's somebody team, you know what I'm saying? It's D-Wade team. I'm just here to help out. And then after that next season, this is LeBron's team.
But
I'm just here.
it took Wade to say that for LeBron to embrace that.
That's what I'm saying.
And so Scottie Pippen, to bring us home, Scottie Pippen is maybe he's running low on money.
He just had a book come out, so I think this is a promotion.
Again, maybe he's running
This
low on
is
money.
promotion.
Scottie Pippen was not treated fairly with the Bulls. He was treated like an afterthought. Jerry Krause did him wrong. He didn't make as much money as he probably should have made.
That's his fault.
He has a chip on his shoulder. He's very upset. But older players have opinions. And when you're a current player, it's your job to have opinions. So I don't think Scottie said anything wrong. He just gave an opinion as a sports fan. If KD doesn't like it, KD has a right to respond.
But I think KD took it too personal.
He always
Because
does.
in
KD
my-
was going to fight a fan.
And my thing is, like, you talking about Scottie Pippen, a 6-time NBA champion. I'm going to say it again. 6-time NBA champion. And then to make it so bad, he gets to talking about, like, you sat out in rehab for this. But the whole reason Scottie sat out is they played him on his money.
They played him on his money,
And
but
KD probably would have sat out the same way if they played
Well,
him on his money.
different eras.
I was
Different
gonna say
eras.
different era.
The players of today are making more in a season or two than they did all their seasons.
I get that,
combined.
but I'm just saying, if he was just Scott,
Them getting mad about their money getting played with.
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen is what made them get paid how they get paid.
Well, I
He's-
think the
he's one of
collective
the
bargaining
reasons.
agreement has something to do with
He's
that.
one of the
They
reasons.
brought that in effect after Scottie got played in his contract.
Well,
with,
that's not factual. The collective bargaining agreement has always been around, but it's just that Scottie Pippen's. If we're gonna blame anybody for Scottie's financial downfall, you need to blame his garbage agent.
His-
That's who you need to
no,
blame.
you need to
his
blame
agent.
Scottie Pippen.
Because
You need to blame
Jordan,
Scottie Pippen.
Jordan took $30 million 1 year and signed 1-year deals the whole final 3 seasons of his career. LeBron does it now. He signs 2-year deals. He doesn't sign these mega contracts. But at the end of the day, I agree with you. We all know that Kevin Durant is sensitive. He will respond to anybody that's bad talking him. So just be prepared for the wrath of KD. This has been another great episode of the 94 Feet Podcast. Always a pleasure to be here with my brothers Keith,
Thank y'all for tuning in, my good people. We appreciate y'all.
our big brother Big Zeke,
Yeah, what up?
and listen to the 94 Feet Podcast weekly on Spreakers, Google, iHeart Podcasting, Apple, Spotify, wherever podcasting is downloaded. Like, subscribe, hit us up in the comments. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at 94FT Podcast. We'll see you next week. Go Bucks.